Hey everybody, time for our Top Talker segment. Joining us today are our esteemed panel, and I mean esteemed. Still dressed in his Easter Sunday purple egg shirt, John Brenner, joining us from 580 CFRA. Michael O'Byrne's here from CTV News, and Melanie Adams from Bob FM. Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Did you have a good weekend?
Yes.
Good Easter? Good, all good? Did you have a big Easter meal?
My pancreas still hurts.
Wow, something you never thought you'd do on morning.
pancreas.
I know, because I ate so much candy.
Does that hurt your pancreas?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Remember the operation?
Operation?
Could you take out the pancreas?
I don't know if there was a pancreas in the operation game. I never was very good at that, hence I'm not a surgeon.
I always took the battery out.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
The only way I
Yeah, exactly. You got to be a surgeon sometimes to find a parking spot in this town of ours.
Yeah.
And some Bank Street businesses and others involved have some different ideas on what they should do when it comes to parking spots. The idea is kind of a graduated sort of parking idea. So at different parts of the day, the prices of parking in certain parts of the city, like the Glebe, for example, Bank Street and the Glebe, would change. So peak hours, whenever that is, would be more expensive.
Right.
Right? But there'd be discounts during off-peak hours to encourage more people to go to these areas to shop.
See, we haven't gotten our head around smart meters yet. So for electricity consumption, and I think that until we actually get that right, then we shouldn't even be going anywhere near this. And as far as why you have peak hours and off-peak hours,
Right.
the reason that people aren't shopping in the off-peak hours is because they're working so that
Right,
they can
good point, John.
earn money so that they can shop
During the peak hours
these
and
peak
pay
hours.
absorbent amounts for parking during the peak hours.
Didn't do well in math, but that one came to me.
Right.
I find it confusing enough as it is trying to figure out when and where and for how long I can park. I don't want to also have to do math.
And that's a good point, Michael, because I have trouble sometimes determining, is there one of those parking meters that I have to go pay to, or is this an area where I don't need to do that? To me, sometimes that's a bit confusing. I'm really not clear on it, hence several parking tickets have come my way.
And here's another thing. If you're going to have metered parking
Yes.
and off-peak and low-peak or whatever,
Right.
what about tickets? Are you going to get a ticket that's one price for, doing parking this time?
Oh, no, it's extra.
And a ticket no,
It's
well,
got to
seriously.
be extra at peak time.
You know.
What do you make of all this?
I think it's ridiculous. We pay too much for parking in this city as it is. I know parking is a big revenue grab for the city.
Yeah.
We need it. It helps keep the tax rate down a little bit. But to have different rates at different times of the day, I think is just absolutely ridiculous. Have they got nothing better to think of at City Hall these days than to sit down and think,
It's a
we could
good money
charge an
grab,
extra
though.
$1 here
Well,
and $1 there.
It's a good money grab.
Then they should charge all weekend as well. There's a lot of parts in downtown Ottawa where you don't have to, on the weekends, for instance, pay for parking.
Yeah, and like I
Charge
say,
everybody all the
I
time
didn't
then.
get the flyer that tells me when that's on and off. You know what I mean?
And I mean, I don't mind paying for parking if I'm getting a good deal. Like, I used to park out front of the building. It gets kind of expensive, so I moved to one of the city lots where it's really expensive, and someone peed on my car, but at least it's indoors.
Right.
And the car's sort of, like, it's just,
It'd be way worse if someone peed on your car outdoors, that's for sure.
Well, it dries up. But it's just, they charge so much, and the rules are hard to understand, and the...
I just don't, parking has become such a money grab in various ways, not just for the city either, because I recently ran into a situation where I was in a strip mall on Merivale Road getting some x-rays done, and I was told you have to go out and park. You're in the parking lot of a strip mall, and you have to go out and pay to park in the parking lot of a strip. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I think I know the strip mall you're talking about. It's
Why?
become
When did
ridiculous.
that start happening? Like, this is ridiculous.
That's been graduated in a number of places. And in the West End, where there's all sorts of space, there's some places on Greenbank Road where you would never, ever, up until a couple of years ago, have to pay for parking. And it just seems like a general lot. And then you realize once you get inside as well, hey, do you have your parking ticket? What?
Really?
That's a cash
Yeah, I
grab
know.
for the people that own the building.
Well, it's like, and I often bring this up, it's like going out to the Ernst & Young Center for an event, for a show, like the home show or whatever, and it's $7 to park.
And
right?
that's crazy because they say, well, you can take OC Transpo there.
No.
Good luck with that.
No.
And
I'm
so
not
you
doing
have
that.
So you have to drive.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to go to something and actually get there on time and get home after the show in a reasonable amount of time, you really do have to take your vehicle. CARP is part of the City of Ottawa, right?
Right.
Okay, how soon before we have parking meters on the main drag right outside the market? Okay, they could make a killing there every Saturday.
Honest to God, they could.
Really?
Don't give them any ideas.
I'm sure someone's thought of it. And I don't buy this argument, by the way, that, oh, in downtown Calgary, it's more expensive to park than in Ottawa, like by twice as much. We don't live in downtown Calgary, we live in Ottawa, so.
Yes. The real #1 city in the country, not Calgary. Bingo.
Good point. Thank you, panel. Happy parking. This panel is one of many groups here in the building that carpools. All of them.